That day, I casually threw a bone into my dog's bowl. The next second, it hit an ancient general on the head. His soldiers instantly drew their swords, thinking an assassin had attacked. But when they looked closely, it was just a big, meaty bone still smelling delicious. They hadn't had a full meal in half a year. Staring at the glistening bone, they thought they were hallucinating. The general fell to his knees, shouting, "This is a gift from the gods." He quickly wrote a letter of thanks and put it into a treasure bowl. But the paper turned to ash, and all the ashes flew right onto my face. I was so mad my face went dark. I grabbed a can of dog food and threw it hard into the bowl. Still not satisfied, I dumped all the dog kibble on the table into it. At that moment, the ancient soldiers were stunned. Strange metal cans kept falling from the bowl. They opened them carefully, and a mouth-watering smell filled the camp. It was food they had never seen before. Some were moved to tears. They couldn't believe the gods were saving them. But I was confused. No matter how much I threw in, the bowl never filled up, so I poured in even more. Meanwhile, the general stared at the bowl full of meat chunks, his blood boiling with excitement. He shared the food with his soldiers, but his deputy frowned and warned. Without water, they wouldn't last 3 days. The general immediately prayed for holy water, while I was growing more and more suspicious of the bowl. I didn't believe there could be a bottomless bowl in this world, so I turned on the tap, letting water flow endlessly into it. Meanwhile, on the ancient battlefield, a fresh spring suddenly gushed out. The general knelt and bowed, saying the gods had returned. He ordered the bowl to be worshipped in gratitude. They burned paper money and prayed over it, and once again ashes sprayed all over my face. I was furious, tried to figure out why, but the ashes flew all over the house. In anger, I threw the bone my dog was chewing into the bowl. At that moment, a meaty bone fell from the sky in the ancient camp. The general looked up and laughed. The gods have shown themselves again. Countless sausages and cans burst from the bowl, filling the camp with aroma. They knelt in thanks, believing I was secretly protecting them. Later, the general wrote a blood letter, begging the gods to send more food, or 300,000 soldiers would starve to death. I stared at the blood-stained letter, my heart racing. At first, I thought it was a prank, but part of me feared it was real. So I made up my mind to pour every bit of food in my house into the treasure bowl. The ancient camp erupted in joy. The general wept, kneeling before the mountain of food, thanking the heavens. But food never lasts forever. 3 days later, they ran out again. The deputy begged to pray once more. The general shook his head, saying the gods had already shown mercy. They must not ask for more. So he took his gold and silver treasures, and even the jade pendant from his neck, and placed them into the bowl. The next second, gold bars and ancient jade piled up before me. I froze in shock, rushed to the pawn shop for appraisal. The owner gasped, saying it was real gold. Even mixed with impurities, it was worth $30 million. And when he saw the pendant, he trembled with excitement. It was a royal treasure from 1,000 years ago. He dug out an old record, confirming the pendant was worth $500 million. My eyes widened, finally believing the blood letter was real. I went home and decided to help the general once more. So I bought out the whole supermarket and poured everything into the treasure bowl. Meanwhile, on the ancient battlefield, starving civilians were rioting. The general looked at their desperate faces and led them in, kneeling to the gods. Just when they were about to give up, the bowl burst into radiant golden light. Bags of rice began to fall from the sky.